Hey guys, and welcome back to another Zodiac Signs as Badass Women. So, we are about to start a new one, but first we need to roll to see who's next. 1, Aries. So, I'm gonna go do some research and I'll be right back to start sketching. So, there was my planning sketches, and I already sketched out her body, her anatomy. It just kind of makes it a little easier to do it off camera. I usually try to do my best then to center her on the page, but that didn't quite happen this time. I'd been doing so well with the other ones, making sure that they were super centered. Yeah, she's up a little high, and that's fine. I got way too far into it before I realized that. And that's okay. Our friend Sagittarius, she's a little high on the page as well. So, for some of my research that I figured out for Aries is a ram. Nice. And also a cardinal sign. Aries element is fire. Their colors are reds, dark reds, and tan. Some strengths are courageous, confident, and honest. Weaknesses: moody, short-tempered, aggressive. And they like comfortable clothes and leadership roles. So for me to try to put that into a drawing for comfortable clothes, I went with something not too elaborate. She is in kind of a one-piece dress, a little bit of a bodycon dress, tied all the way down. I'd imagine it'd be made out of that really soft, stretchy fabric, so it'd be really comfortable to wear. And to kind of show that she's willing to take charge in a leadership role, I did give her a gigantic crown that also has ram's horns attached to it, because I do while I don't like the cheesy, super cheesy elements added to the zodiac signs, I do love that little touch, especially when it's something kind of as dramatic as horns and how cool they can look on a crown. So I really did enjoy doing that for her crown. As for moody and short-tempered, I don't know why, but I really felt compelled to capitalize on what people would call this element's weaknesses, which were aggressive, moody, and short-tempered, because I feel a lot of those things are things that are negative, really, really negative in women, but maybe things that aren't necessarily as negative for men. Think of, aggressive. An aggressive man in the workplace would be applauded. He wouldn't be seen as aggressive. He would be seen as, knowing what he wants and confident in his abilities or whatever. But a woman who would fight for her own way in the workplace would be seen as aggressive. I do ink off screen, little tidbit back to the drawing, but so I really wanted to kind of capitalize on those feelings that if you saw this woman, you would know that she is a badass. It doesn't matter that she's aggressive, because aggressive maybe isn't always a negative term. And I was really rolling with that. Her hair is up. She means business. But I also made it really long and flowy, because while these are meant to be badass women, badass doesn't look the same for every woman. Every woman in their own right can be badass. You don't have to have a short haircut or it be colored or curly and wild to be a badass. You can have flowy, gorgeous hair and still be aggressive and respected and a woman, So this series has me thinking a lot about, what it means to be a badass woman and what what I'm looking for when in my drawings to relate back to people when I'm making them. So here I am coloring. I'm coloring her skin tone. I've been really happy with the way I've been coloring skin lately. I've kind of picked up this tip of, you know, like when I shade in purple, it kind of desaturates that tan, you know, the skin color. So if you go back in though with something that's really pretty saturated, such as I was using an orange color there, it really makes the shadows, like it just makes the skin more lifelike, while also, you know, letting it be desaturated in the shadows. It has that bridge between the skin tone in like a normal light setting versus in the shadows. It makes it look so much more lively. And I played with her color palette a bit. I had just, of course, we just come off of Leo, and here we are doing Aries, another fire sign with red as one of the colors, and I was trying not to be too, you know, red, orange, yellow with it. And luckily I really loved the red and the tan, so I used my two darkest Copic markers for this, and then I had everything kind of, you know, almost everything about this piece is desaturated. There's not a lot of bright colors, and I really enjoyed that. It just kind of meant, it did bring, you know, a sense of moodiness and like seriousness to her. And her face is a little more playful, I think, than some of the other ones, but I did enjoy drawing it. I did kind of mess up her eyebrows a bit. I don't know what happened there, but overall though, I was maybe a little sad that I felt like this piece wasn't as detailed as some of the others, but I think I love it all the same. A lot of thought went into this piece, and sometimes I feel like I get into my head about if I didn't, you know, take as much time on a piece, that means I didn't put as much effort into the piece, and that's just not the case. I think this piece turned out great. Even though it took me significantly less time than some of the others, sometimes the concepts are just, you know, the ideas I'm going for are just there. So I hope you can enjoy Aries, and I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit so you can watch me color the rest of this piece. P.S. on a side note, if you like what you see and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you. I would love to have people, you know, enjoy my work and let me know that they enjoy my work. So if you see this and like it, please comment. I'd love to hear from you. So I was going for unconventionally like white hair here, but I also knew that, you know, like there's fire there on the left side, and I was gonna be putting a dark ring around her, so I really wanted to kind of emphasize the shadows, but I feel like I got too much into like the blue and the purple and the whatever. I do go over with a gray at some point to kind of desaturate it a bit because that blue was really out there. And I do think if I went back, I maybe would have been a little more careful with the shading of her hair so it reads as white and not as like a really light blue. I loved the idea for her weapon. It maybe wasn't so much as a weapon idea of just kind of a show of power idea with like the big giant staff lit on fire at the end. I did like the idea, but I definitely think I could have pushed it a bit, you know, made it a little more intricate or something, because I was kind of playing off of like you know, in movies and stuff when they light torches and there's that little like square end piece that is what gets, you know, soaked and stuff and lit. I was kind of like, oh, what if it looked like that? Like it was a giant torch. I just don't think it read very well. I think I could have done a better job with that. But I do love the idea that, you know, like the rest of her look may be subtle, but, you know, she's carrying a flaming staff. And I decided to just, for pink little, you know, hints in her skin, I just decided to go back in with my pink Holly Rays colored pencil. It layers really nicely over this particular skin tone. And here I am adding the circle in for the background. Luckily I haven't used much of that tape yet, so it's like the same size for every single character. I used quite a bit of it. Some would have really tiny circles and others would have had the bigger circles. And I chose this blue. It's this desaturated blue that's pretty dark. I liked that for her because it kind of, you know, plays off of the red. You know, it's not in her color scheme quite, but it's, I don't know, I just like the way it looks. I did go through and I colored it, outlined her in white, and I maybe already did the thick line art around the edge. I always do. I go with a 0.7 Copic Multiliner, and here I am with my Uniball Signo adding the final details in white, which I always think make the piece. So, like I said, if you enjoyed this or are ready to see the rest of the series, please like, comment, and subscribe, because I would love to have a following of people who are like-minded and enjoy art and creating characters. I hope that you have a fantastic day, have fun creating, and stay safe. Here's the final product.